Page, I guess now you can also see my PowerPoint right here, yes? Okay, thank you, Billy. You've been a wonderful help. I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to. I just want to tell you welcome to Georgia Virtual School AP Comparative Government, also abbreviated as COGO. Fall 2018. So I am teaching this class. I'm also teaching Euro History Part A. And so I'm using the same PowerPoint for both classes, which is why you see Euro History Part A on the PowerPoint slide. So welcome, first night of class. This is me. My name is Kim Stokes. I have been with Georgia Virtual School for 10 years. And here's my contact information, including my email address, which actually I could have done a little bit better job here on the email address, right? Okay, and maybe do something like this. All right, that makes life easier. I teach AP Comparative Government. I teach Euro History. I teach in the Social Studies Department. I am also an instructor at Columbus State University in Columbus, Georgia, where I live. Well, I don't live in Columbus. I live in Ellerslie, which is just above Columbus. I teach U.S. History for the History and Geography Department at Columbus State. And I am currently pursuing my doctorate in curriculum and leadership and plan to be finished by about this time next year if the creeks don't rise. So that's me. So here's my contact information, same information that's on the home page. So if you have any questions about anything, I certainly hope that you will reach out to me. And Billy, at any time, if you have questions, feel free to just type them in the chat box. Okay. So the first thing I want to tell you about is the syllabus and the schedules. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But it's very important that you read the syllabus, the different things that are in there, and also print off the schedule of assignments. That's going to tell you what's due and when. I'm going to show you what that syllabus and schedule looks like in just a moment. For now, I'm going to move on. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. By the way, I have 4 dogs and they have very bad manners, okay? And so even though I told them not to make a sound, as you can see, they are disobedient. Okay, so I'm hoping they will get some new manners before this is over with. Okay, so here are some, evidently this was the template, right? I'm going to show you the course schedule, and please follow it. I took a lot of time to make it up. Come on, go. I'll close the door. That way they'll be a little bit nicer. In fact, I can go on over to the sorry about that. They're just bad-mannered. Okay, so this is our course homepage right here. And after you finish the orientation, you'll have access to my course homepage. And so here, if I scroll down, here under course information are the 3 schedules. So we have 3 start dates. Just because you have a later start date does not mean that you have less work, okay? That just means you have more work squeezed into a very small amount of time. But if I click on this 18-week right here, this is the syllabus that I was talking about. It tells you lots of good information, the grading policy and whatnot. And there you have the assessment or assignment schedule, okay? So as you can see, this first week right here, August 6th, we're pretty much just trying to get into the course. And then your first assignment due date is not until August 15th. That's next Wednesday. All assignments are always due on a Wednesday, okay? And they're late on Thursday or Friday. After Friday, they are not accepted at all, okay? So how this works is this is the assignment due date, this Wednesday right here, and any assignment in the preceding week is due at 11:59 on that Wednesday. So on this day right here, I'm going to be looking for that concepts of AP government test, the public policy project, the important public policy issue discussion, the other functions of government assignment, the government structure discussion, and the normative empirical assignment, and the intro discussion. Okay, so make sure that you are looking at, and I usually post the assignments on our course homepage. I'll usually list them as an announcement. Okay, so when you log in, make sure you look at the announcement. All right. Okay, are there any questions about the assignment schedule? You got any questions about that, Billy? About which text to read tonight? Are you asking for an assignment of what text to read and when? Is that what you're asking about? The ebook has 2 versions. It has 2 listings for chapter 1. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure what you're talking about there, but hold on one second. Let me see if I can get to it. Gosh, what happened to my... All right. So in your course home, if you come up here and you click on course materials, and click on content, we should see the, let's see, some kind of module to help you get your course. You know what, Billy? I tell you what, I will post, how about I post a reading assignment? Right? I mean, I'll tell you which chapters you're supposed to be reading for which week, okay? How about I do that? Let's just worry about getting ourselves in the class and introducing ourselves, and I'll post a reading list soon. All right, so this is how you read your schedule, all right? So it's important that you know what your assignments are. You can print them off if you want. I talked about they're due at midnight. If you have questions about assignments, I ask that you ask me. Don't make assumptions. So you're probably wondering, well, what happens if I decide to go on vacation? With summer ending, you're probably not going to go on vacation, but I do have a lot of students who go and look at colleges, right? Because it's fall semester and they're off, they're looking at colleges. Understand that vacations or any kind of time off that you have is not an excuse for late work, okay? We're not going to grant you an extension because you have to go and look at a college, or you have a football game, or you have some kind of something you have to do. If you feel like you have a lot going on and you can't get your assignments done that week, then you are expected to work ahead, okay, and get them done ahead of time and make sure that they're in before the due date. Okay, so if you come back to me and say, well, I couldn't get my assignment in because, you know, we went off to wherever, North Carolina to look at colleges and I couldn't get my assignment in, then I'm going to say, well, I'm very sorry, but you can't turn it in if it's over 2 days late. Okay, so just understand that, all right? If you can't get your assignments in, then you're expected to work ahead. You can always turn in work ahead of time. But when work is late, I have to impose a late penalty. Whether it's 1 day late or 2 days late, I will have to take 20% off. Okay, I'll say that again. Whether your assignment is 1 day late or 2 days late, I have to take 20% off, and after 2 days, I do not accept the assignment at all. Okay, if you're sick or if you become sick, then there is a form you can fill out to ask for an extension. I do not grant the extensions. It goes to somebody higher up than me, and you have to provide medical documentation. And if they decide that it's okay for you to turn in your work, then they'll let me know that it's okay for me to take it. Okay? So the name of the game is just do your assignments and do them on time. Okay, so the late work policy, as I mentioned before, all work is due on Wednesday. Work turned in after the deadline on the course schedule would be accepted within 2 school days with a late penalty assessed. The late penalty is 20%. At the end of the day on Friday, that's 11:59 on Friday, assignments will no longer be accepted or graded for credit unless a formal extension, that's you filling out that form and somebody else making the decision, is requested and approved. Assignments due on the last due date of the semester, which is Friday, November 30th, may be submitted for late credit at the end of the day on Tuesday, December 4th. At the end of the semester, all classwork must be submitted prior to the time the final exam is available. In other words, I can't open and won't open. I won't accept any assignments once the final exam is open. Okay. Which kind of makes sense. All right, moving on. Technical difficulties are not an excuse for assignments to be late. You chose to take an online class. Online class means you have access to a computer, you have access to internet. If you end up without access to these two things, it is expected that you go get access somewhere. In other words, you go find a computer to use. You go find some internet to use. Go sit in the parking lot at Chick-fil-A and get their Wi-Fi, okay? Whatever you have, a public library, whatever you need to do. Most of these Georgia Virtual School courses can be accessed through mobile devices. So if you come back to me and say, well, I didn't turn in my work because our internet was out, then I'm going to say, well, I'm very sorry. I have to either put in a late penalty in or I'm not going to accept it at all, okay? Just know that up front. Your Georgia Virtual School email is how we will correspond with each other. Your mail is your Georgia Virtual School username at Georgia Virtual School and then your user password. So you all have access to an Office 365 account. It allows you to install the Microsoft Office suite on up to 5 PCs or Macs. It also includes 1 terabyte of OneDrive storage, which is managed by Georgia Virtual School. And you can use Office Online to collaborate. When you save assignments, please save them in a common format like a DOCX or XLSX, PPTX, or a PDF. If you have a strange file name and submit it, sometimes what that will do is prevent me from opening it, okay? If I cannot open your assignment when you submit it, what I will do is I will give you a 0. And then I will put in the comments, you have 3 days to get this assignment back into me in a file that I can open. And then I will accept the assignment without any late penalty. But if you don't submit the assignment within that 3 days, then the 0 stays. So make sure you're checking your grade. When you submit an assignment, go back and make sure that it got graded, okay? I have 3 school days to grade an assignment from you. And so when you submit something, go back in and make sure you get a grade. If you get a 0, then you need to look at the comments and find out why you got that 0. If I say I couldn't open the file, you need to be getting me a new file, okay? Academic honesty. I expect you all to do your own work. I mean, that's pretty simple. It's straightforward. You are AP students. It's very easy for me to spot plagiarism because it's just easy, easier than you think. So make sure you don't do it. It can result in you getting a 0 for your assignment, or, just getting a stern warning from me. It just depends on how bad it is. Certainly do not collaborate with students and split the work up and not do your own work that way. That is certainly not acceptable. If you have questions on the Georgia Virtual School homepage, there's a help button. I encourage you to use it. It has lots of great information. In fact, before you reach out to me, you may want to check the help button. There's a search feature, and you may be able to get your question answered that way. Also, the student handbook is under student resources on the Georgia Virtual School homepage. Look at it. It has all the policies written out, and it's a great resource for you. When you're working in Georgia Virtual School, the Mozilla Firefox or Chrome is the preferred browser. Both of these are free downloads at mozilla.com or Google, Gmail, or not Gmail, Google or Chrome. Costs you no money to get these web browsers. You and I will correspond through your Georgia Virtual School email and not your personal email. Now, I know I just sent all of you a welcome letter last night to your personal email. That's probably the last time you'll hear from me using that. I will reach out to you through your Georgia Virtual School email. So if you're wondering if I'm emailing you, make sure you go in and check your email. You should be checking it daily just in case things come into you. If your grade drops below 70 on Wednesdays, we have an automated system that will call parents and let them know that your grade has dropped below passing. I will hold weekly synchronous office hours, these right here that you are in. AP Comparative Government is at 6:30. AP European History is at 7:30. You are not required to attend. However, it's encouraged. It's your opportunity to interact with me in real time. I will also often go over things that are going on for the week, assignments that may be coming up, content items that are important. So if I encourage you to attend, but if you can't attend, these sessions are recorded. The link will be posted under user links. So if you can't attend, make sure you listen to the recording. So here's how your grades are set up. Now we have class activities. These are Dropbox items and quizzes like, I don't know if you guys have any vocab quizzes in this new comparative government course, but mostly Dropbox items. Those are going to be your class activities. They're worth 20%. Your tests, which will consist of multiple choice and short answer / essay, those are worth, and projects, those are worth 50%. Pay attention to that, because if you miss a few tests and project, it can significantly bring your grade down. Discussions are worth 10%, and then our final exam, which is an objective final exam, meaning it's all multiple choice, is worth 20%. As I mentioned before, I have 3 school days to grade your assignments. What I will do is after the Wednesday due date, I go in on Thursday morning and I'll put in a 0 for any work not completed. That was due but not completed. Okay, and so that should be an alert to you. If you get a 0 on an assignment, you might need to be looking at the schedule to see if it was due. If you missed it, I would suggest you go ahead and get it in. I also add feedback to all assignments and quizzes and Dropbox items. So please look at this feedback. It will help you understand the concepts of the course and how to engage and do well in the course. If you have any questions about your grades, please feel free to ask. It's your grade. You should be concerned about it. There's nothing wrong with saying, can you explain how you gave me this grade? Why did you take off points? Or whatever your question is. You are absolutely right to do that, so please do. All right, let's take a look at a Georgia Virtual School course. Let's take a look at our course, actually. So here we are, our AP Comparative Government course. And I showed you where, actually what I'm going to do is switch to a student view. That way you see what you normally see. All right. Here's how you check your email. This first button right here. Everybody has to fill out the handbook acknowledgement form. Here it is right here. Okay. This is the announcement that I told you about. It's a little different because, you know, this is kind of the instructor view. So you're not 14-week students. You probably only have one announcement and it says 18-week students. So anyway, here is where those user links will be. Once I record these sessions, I'll put a link right here saying that this is the recording for our last weekly session or live session. Okay, under these groupings right here, if you have to do a discussion or a Dropbox or a quiz, this is how you access that. If you want to know what your grade is, you can access it from here. This right here under course materials and clicking on content right here is how you learn AP Comparative Government, how you find out what your assignments are, and how you find out what the instructions are. So for example, let's go to the first one, intro. Okay, so one of the first things that you will have to do, we're working on the intro to Georgia Virtual School Unit. And complete assigned readings for Unit 1, Concepts of AP Comparative Government. I got this from the chart right here, their assignment schedule. So the first thing I want you to do on Tuesday is post to the introduction discussion. So if I come back over here and I'm in Intro to your Georgia Virtual School course, here's the Introduction and Choice of Core Country discussion. Okay, and the neat thing is right here, you can just link to it right here. If you click on this link, it goes right to the discussion board and you'll start a new thread. Okay, what are you supposed to put in here? Well, read the paragraph right here. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to put in here. Let's see, what else? So as you move through these modules, you will see your different assignments. How do you know what module you're working on? Well, come over here to your assignment schedule right here. And it will tell you, at least it'll tell you the assignment that you should be turning in. So once we finish with that module, we're going to go to this one. It'll tell you the standards, the module overview, some content, and there's that first assignment right there, that normative and empirical assignment. All I did was switch to this unit right here, and this is a link to the Dropbox. It says click here to download your assignment instructions, okay? Any questions, Billy, about how to find your assignments? I'll be posting a reading list so you can know where you're supposed to read in the textbook. There are some other really good things for you to look at here. Oh, good. Okay, the class list. This is everybody in the class. Here's some different student resources for you. All right. What else can I tell you about? Actually, I think that's kind of it. It's a lot to kind of take in at first. However, it is not too difficult. If you need more help navigating the course and the system that we use, here are some help sessions that you can go to that will help you find your way around. But most importantly, I want you to remember that I'm here to help you. I want you to succeed. If you need help with something or just have a question, please don't hesitate to contact me. Okay? All right, Billy, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Thanks for being my eyes and ears on the other side. That's all I have. Unless you have a question for me, you're free to go. well, Billy has left us. So thank you for listening to this recording. As always, reach out to me if you need help.